And it looks like I'm live on Facebook. How are you all doing? This is Lisa Allen of Timing Magic with Lisa, and I am here to help you guys get your free timing readings today. And since I'm on a little early and I figured that I'd wait till people came on the stream, I thought I would tell you a little bit about myself. And most of you already know me, but I thought that I would tell you who I am and what I'm doing and um, all of those types of things. So I've been an astrologer since 2000 professionally, 1993 for studying, and I've also studied other, like, I guess, spiritual skills like tarot and dowsing and, various other things. And with dowsing, I learned that I'm pretty natural at it. Um, I am glad that I did the disciplined study of astrology, though, because it allowed me to kind of like have a system of mental. Um, Hi, Denise. How are you? Yay! Um, I have a mental, like, explanation, I guess, for some of the things that I would get on the pendulum by going into the ephemeris or into my calendar that has all of my astrology aspects and, those types of things, and figure out like the answers that I was getting on my pendulum often pointed to an astrological piece. So just thought I would tell you guys a little bit how that works. And one thing is that, well, I guess as a very Saturnian Capricorn, I'm really, really grounded. So I think that that's one of the reasons that I get timing really naturally, like within my body vessel, like whatever that is. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. So I noticed that Denise is in the room, and Denise is an amazing human design consultant. And for those of you who are into human design, it's a combination of both kinds of astrology, meaning Western and Eastern, along with other systems like I Ching. And it's a really beautiful system, and it's something that like answered a few questions for me when astrology didn't. And I've been totally studying astrology for, since 1993. And there were things in human design that I learned that actually explained a lot of stuff. One is that I'm a 2/4 for people that speak HD. I'm a 2/4 emotional projector, and I have an open sacral, and I have a 1/8 defined, which has to do with getting my word out there. And it's very individual circuit. And what's really interesting is in my past, first off, I thought that I was a generator like everybody else that's a projector, and kind of burned out. And what happened was one of the things that they say about projectors is that you crash and burn at around 40 years old. And that totally happened to me. I was burning my candle at both ends, being a single mother. I didn't have support systems with my ex, and I was like had 3 jobs, 5 jobs, those types of things when I was a single mom. And it all caught up with me and just like leveled me for about 15 years. And it wasn't that I wasn't interested in healing, because I was definitely like working toward that. And I actually became a master herbalist during that time. But even that wasn't enough to like really help me get my health back. I had a few other things that happened to get about 85% of my health back. And I'm still working toward getting the rest of it back. But I thought I would tell you guys about, if you are a projector, you need to know this. Okay. So get your human design chart and like friend Denise, okay? Because she has a really cool group that shares a lot of things about human design. And I am really grateful for that. I have a few other design, human design groups that I'm like, that I lurk in. And I've even, done some things with Raquel Reina. And I don't know if she'll be on the stream. I know she's streaming something for her own group today, so she might be getting ready for that. But anyway, so guys, toss her a friend request and get invited to her group if you're interested in human design. It's a really cool system, and I learned things even as an astrologer. So that being said, for some of you who are popping into the stream right now, I'm Lisa Allen. I'm Timing Magic with Lisa. And one of my things is, besides being an astrologer, a tarot card reader, and a dowser, and a master herbalist, that's what the MH is, I happen to be good at timing. Okay. Now, I will tell you that timing is kind of fluid. Okay. There is a sense. So here's what happens with people who are really, really psychic. Okay. They get a download from the place where there is no time. So in order to get a time that it's happening in this third dimension, which is for our experience very real, okay, we definitely have an unfoldment of things, and we learn through that process. So we want time to exist here because we actually learn a lot from it. But when we're measuring time, so astrologers already know how to measure time, and horary astrologers especially do a really specific kind of timing that they can do from a chart of the moment of the question. And it is fascinating and fabulous. Okay. I've taken some horary astrology lessons, but there's a lot of rules to get through it. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes through like my natural thing, and then I can just measure it with a pendulum, it's much faster for me that way. And so I've learned to just trust that. And that way I don't have to take the time and the skill and all of those things in order to do a horary astrology. Now, if it's a really, really, really important thing, I recommend horary astrology, and I can refer out for that. But for normal timing readings, for people who are psychic, who know what's going to happen, whether they do, their card readings, okay, or whether they have their visions, whether other people have done their card readings for them, whether people do their rune readings, okay, other oracles. I wanted to say that you already know what is happening. So every oracle, everything, it confirms over and over and over again, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Okay. However, when you say when is it going to happen, and you get a like as a number 3, okay, like from the universe, the universe just says 3, okay. And you're kind of like, okay, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. I mean, these are very different experiences, okay? And planning your life around that particular window is really, really hard, okay? I have a system where, and it's, comes through me. So that part I can't really explain, other that I'm very grounded. And I learned how to dowse, and I learned how to ask the right questions, okay, when I'm dowsing. So that is something that I did learn. I studied material with Walt Woods and when he was alive, as well as through Michael Hafler in Montana, who is an amazing water dowser. But I really refined my pendulum skills, and has a hair trigger on it. I use this pendulum dowsing book for when I dowse other stuff. So I can do timing without this though. So I did want to tell you guys how I end up working with stuff. So, because I'm here answering free timing questions, you guys already know what's going to happen. So drop in the comments and say, when is your vision, or you can name it. I don't have to know what it is. You can just say, when is this blank, blank, blank going to happen? Okay. You can tell me a little bit of stuff about, they have, okay. So for instance, you can tell me if it's like, if it's relationship oriented, if it's, money oriented, things like that, so that I can tune in on the energy. But you don't have to be that specific about details unless I ask you something because I'm getting something confusing through my senses and my feelings and the reading of the pendulum. Okay. And today I'm using a different pendulum because it wanted to be used. Okay. This I have and somewhere around here I have a different one too, but I have pendulums, and some of them are like really serious. Like this one is so serious, right? Okay, can you like, it's really funny how they have different personalities. And this is one of my ones that's a little bit more playful, but I mean, it still gives you the answers. But the personality of even the pendulums sometimes are pretty hilarious. And what I mean by that is that they hide sometimes, and or they like travel off with, I have one of them that travels off with other people, and then the other people always bring it back to me. And this pendulum just thinks that's so funny, and it's so cool, like to like, oh, I get to hang out with, so and so over here for a little while, and then they bring me back to my person. And it's pretty funny. So Denise or anybody else in the chat, do you have any questions? If not, it's not a problem. I have other things to talk about. So in fact, you know what, Denise, since you're here, okay, because you are typing in the chat, I'm going to do a card reading for you right now. Okay, because I was shuffling up my cards and said, hey, I'm going to, I'll probably do a card reading for somebody. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to do a card reading for you. And I'll do, feels like 3 cards. Okay. So let's do 3 cards for Denise Rowland. Okay. Okay, that's an excellent question, and I will get to it. And maybe the cards will have something to say, so you actually get a bonus, okay? Because you get cards and you get the timing, okay? So let's see here. Okay, so let me show you my cards here that I got. Okay, so this is in order. Okay, the first card is the initiation card, which in my deck, this is the temperance card. Okay, and this is reversed. So there's something a little bit out of balance, or that it's not energy that is refined and mature yet. Okay, and initiation, there might be some kind of either spiritual or some kind of, concept initiation. Something like that has to happen for that. Okay, so that's the first one. And then the second one, this is brilliant because this is telling me that you are a master at what you do. Dedication is also doing the work. Okay, and it also means making the money doing your work. So I love this. Okay. Now here's the card that is a little wonky. The 7 of Cups, it says delusion at the top. So that is only one expression of this card. Okay, so this is also a wish card. And so on other decks, and I mean, I'd have to go through and find it in this deck that I have, but the cups sometimes have things in it, like as if it was like, what do you wish for, right? So there's two ways to use this energy when it's not in balance that I most of the time see. One of the ways is that you don't wish big enough. Okay, that's one thing. And if you're a Capricorn, or if you have Capricorn in your chart, that could be a likely, outcome. If you don't have Capricorn in your chart, or other, kinds of like, Virgo, those types of things that like are critical thinkers and, not realistic and all of those kinds of things. If it's like, if your head's in the clouds and all of that, then it means that you're wishing, but you're not grounded. Okay. So you are a Capricorn sun and a Venus. Okay. So you probably aren't wishing high enough. And maybe that's part of this initiation thing for you. Okay. Because what we want to do is bring in the initiation. Now, very interesting that Venus is in Capricorn, because Venus is retrograde right now, and it literally goes direct at the end of the month. Do you feel like you're going to be shifting something at the end of the month, like even in your own feelings of like what's happening? Do you think like around the dark moon that there's going to be a big release of something that like maybe was an old value, right? And then it refines your spirituality, and then it allows for this work to actually get out into the world, right? So, okay, brilliant. So now we know what we're timing. Okay, so I realize you could have done your own card reading first, right? But sometimes, you know, it works like that, right? So let's see when you are going to be bringing in, and we'll call it substantial income. But what we'll do is we'll say that it will meet your needs and go beyond that, okay, consistently. Is that a good way to ask that? So when will Denise manifest income? Because she's already a master at what she's doing, okay? That was clear from the card. So this is a matter of mastering the money and all of the stuff coming in, okay, and raising her energy up to the level where it's sustained and doing all of this. And so I'm going to ask days, weeks, months, years. Days, weeks, months, years. Okay, it says weeks. Okay, let's see here. Okay, it's saying about 4 weeks, which that means that it'll be approximately in the Pisces time, like when the sun comes into Pisces. So we already have Jupiter in Pisces. So again, that might be the extra energy that you might need in order to, you know, bump that whole thing forward, because Pisces allows us to dream and to, you know, to be a little bit, you know, much more like receptive of the universe's gifts, instead of, you know, like Saturn just saying work, 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 right? Your moon and Mars are in Pisces. Okay, yeah, because yeah, Jupiter is actually helping out your Pisces. Do you know what your rising is offhand? And I'm going into the calendar right now to like look here to see what's going on around the sun in Pisces time that might also be helping you. We have the full moon in February 16th. So that's when the sun is still in Aquarius. We have Mercury in Aquarius on the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. So, okay, Mars is actually making a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. So that might be helping you. That's on February 23rd. Let's see, we have, and Venus is actually making an aspect to Neptune on February 24th. And then the moon enters Capricorn. So it might be that week of February, okay, when there are some aspects to some of the things that are in that Pisces house as well as your Capricorn house. And also that Venus, which is retrograde right now, because you're letting go of things, right, that are not working. And how Capricorn is that? Like, hey, is this working or not, right? So it tells me that you can turn it around. And if you need, I guess, more of a reading on that, but I would be doing a lot of meditation right now and releasing and putting down like all of those things that are residual energies that are not matching, and put them down the grounding cord all the way to the center of the earth. And then at the same time, you want to make roots that pull up the energy from the earth that is pure source energy that helps you like reorient yourself. And then also pull down the sky energy, like the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, the sky, okay, and pull it down through your crown, pull it all the way down to your feet. So you have the earth energy making this, right? And then you have the sky energy doing this, and then you're in the middle, right? So hold on a moment. Okay. Okay, I thought somebody was knocking at my door. It's fine. So, okay, yeah. So meditate a lot and then like really like, so let me see. Okay, do you have a goal for your wishes? Because maybe you need some help like visualizing what that goal is, right? So, do you have a set like I guess amount that you're like like let's just say that you're trying to achieve bills and then anything over that. So, what is your amount for like achieving the bills, and then you want to make consistently that and then go over sometimes, right? Do you have a number for that like in your mind? And if you don't, I'll try to find one here. Kind of. Okay, you can give me your ballpark and then I'll see if we can make that expand for you. Okay, because it feels like to me that you need to expand the wish, and I just need to see how much more that 2000. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. This is works. Okay, 2000. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it really high. We're going to put 5,000 over here, 2,000 over here, okay, and see like what area like that it's supposed to be at. Okay, so, okay, that's too big. Okay, 2,000, 3,000. Okay, it's saying that you can put that goal up higher. It's saying around 2,700, like 2,800, something like that. That's what spirit wants you to put out there into. And so meditate on receiving easily and consistently $2,800 every month, easily. Okay, put it out there to the universe. Okay, and then wait for guidance on how to do that. So what'll happen, this is where the receptive part comes in. So, us Capricorn types, we like to do it all by ourselves, and that ain't gonna work, right? So we need the spiritual support. So, but we need to be able to receive it. So the chakra where we receive things is our solar plexus. So just see that solar plexus getting really, really clear. Okay, so the giving part kind of is through our heart chakra, but our solar plexus is where we receive. And so just make sure that there's no cords or, anything cutting in and like, siphoning off your energy. Make sure that that is very, very locked in. Then put like, I guess a protection on it, right? After you grow it. And if you want, you can visualize the sun in there growing, as big as the planet, if you want, as big as the solar system. Okay, grow that sun. And you can do this in meditation too, when you're doing the grounding and all of that. Just put the sun right inside of your solar plexus and expand it as much as you can, and visualize the 2,700 or more every month. Okay, I hope that helps you, Denise. Yay. Okay. That's awesome. So I'm going to wait for a little while because I know that some other people might pop onto the stream. But I wanted to, so thank you, Denise, for popping on. I hope that, I hope some of the other people from the, your human design group come today, because I noticed somebody else wanted to come, but I don't remember who commented. But then again, I'm reading a lot of input from things. So, anyway, so for those of you popping in right now, I'm Lisa Allen, and I'm doing free timing readings for Timing Magic with Lisa, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm going to actually be on YouTube at 4:00 Pacific time today as well, doing these. So if you are catching the replay of this video and you didn't catch me live, head over to my link tree, okay, which is actually in my profile on Facebook. And if you click on that, the first link that you see will go to my YouTube channel. There's several posts that I have also with, where it says tiny URL, like / timing questions answered free, something like that, right? And that will take you also to my video. And you can click on the notification there and it'll remind you. If you're logged into Google, it'll remind you, it'll give you a notification. Denise says, here, you know what? We're going to go ahead and highlight that because now I know how to do that. Thank you. It has been too late notice, so you can post it again a few days earlier next week if you do it again. Okay, and I'm not even sure exactly how I may do this. I may upgrade my StreamYard account, which you see over here in the corner over here, that I'm doing this on StreamYard. Yeah, I may get a pro account and then just stream on both at the same time. So, yeah. So no problem. Take care, Denise. Have a good one, okay? Keep me posted about what happens in a month, okay? Get back to me. I'm not kidding. Okay. I'll see you later. So I'll wait for a couple of other people to come for readings, and let's see what happens, right? So, you know what? Just to get some of the energies here for the day, I'm gonna check out my other card deck here just to see what's going on, because I didn't get time to do a general reading for general energies today, and so I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, and this is very interesting. The Sun card, but it's reversed. Okay, so now on my card deck here, you'll see that there is this 8 folded wheel here. So I like to think about what is the next holiday on the wheel of the year, and the next one is Imbolc. That happens to be around about the time that we have the new moon and the new Chinese year, and we also have the retrogrades of Venus will already be over, and we also have hi, Diane. Oh, cool. Excellent. I want to hear your question. We have the next timing, okay, and what has shown up over and over again is February 3rd. So I think that is what this card is resonant with, that the sun is coming back, but it's at Imbolc time, and Imbolc time just happens to be also when this new moon and the retrogrades are over. So Diane, did you have a question for me? Like a when will this happen kind of question? Okay, let me see here. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Earlier, I was talking to Denise, and if you're watching the live stream, I managed to find the 7 of Cups card in the different deck. Okay, and this is what it looks like. And you see all of the wishes that could be, you know, for certain types of things. Like they all have a different kind of wish inside of them. So this is the wish card. Okay, and what I was talking about was sometimes we have to be careful what we wish for, but we also need to be grounded in order to receive the wishes. So there's that. So I just thought I would tell you guys about that. And I drew cards for a regular reading, but let me see what Diane is writing. So I'm going to highlight that. And Diane says, I'm thinking of moving, so I'm not sure when. That's a when question, maybe more of a should question. Okay. We'll word it in a when question, and then if it doesn't answer, then we'll like do it that way. So I'm going to say, when should Diane move? Okay. And if it says days, weeks, months, years, and if it doesn't answer me, then we'll know if it's a should question. Oh, it says weeks. Interesting. How many weeks should Diane move? Sort of an odd answer, but I get 6 weeks. Does that make sense, Diane? Okay. What's 11:33? In Pacific time, guys. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm thinking about 6 weeks. And I guess what that would be is because today's the 21st, 28, 4, 11, 18, 25. Oh, that would be like around March 3rd or something. So I guess that around about that time. Does that make sense to you? Okay. If you move it that day, hang on a second. When will Diane find the place in order to move? When will she find it? Days, weeks, months? Okay, days. Interesting. How many days will Diane find this new place to move? Okay, I'm getting about 5, maybe 6 days away that you find out about a potential moving place. Now, that will not be, hang on, let me look here. Today being the 21st. Yeah, 28th. So we still have Venus not direct until the next morning. So it might actually be a good timing on Friday, January 28th. It might be Saturday, the 29th, because literally Venus goes direct that day. So it would be very quick, but you haven't found what it is yet. That's what I'm getting, is that you're going to find something that is a good match for you around next Friday, Saturday. Okay. And then it'll be like, oh, wow, I can move. And then you'll pack, and then, and then you'll actually move, because it feels like around the first part of March. Okay. So I'm hoping that helps. And it says, oh, wow, that would be very quick, but I get it. Yeah, you never know. Like, you might just end up with an opportunity. Like, one of your friends says, hey, I know about this place. Like, and you told me last week that you were thinking of moving, and I found this place for you that might be a good match. So you just never know. By the way, I've had, on that note, Facebook Marketplace a lot of times has things that like match things. I found a couple of places like already with Facebook Marketplace with that, in mind. Now I am doing more of a room rental thing for me rather than like finding a house, but you may find something like that. Okay, it's fascinating. Yeah, I know. It's not kind of weird like that, huh? It's yeah. So what I do is, for timing, like a lot of people, like, they go to that realm with no time, right? And then it's not very clear what the communication is about time. And what I do is I try to make it really clear. Now, it's still like a weather report. Like, it could change, like if something comes in. Okay, so I cannot guarantee anything because everything changes. Okay, but at this time, if that's what's measuring coming in, and it's a pretty strong measurement, so it feels like, the weather of the timing, will actually happen. And the fact that you want it to, like, probably will give even more energy to that, and more, I guess, if you will, like a grounding for it to really come in. Okay, so it's only when there isn't resonance, or like if something doesn't make sense, when I get something. And this happened on one of my YouTube videos recently, where a person was moving to a particular place to be with a long-term partner. And then she asked me when they were going to get married. And it was like totally like not even an answer that like matched like okay. So what it was is like, the move was going to be like, 4 or 5 months, something like that. And then the marriage came in at like 5 years. And that didn't make any sense to me. And I rependulumed it, and it was almost like I was like doing it with 2 different people. Like it was like, I'm asking a question about this, but then this other question like feels like not a match. So that happens sometimes. I'm not getting that for you, Diane. I'm getting like pretty solid on this thing, and that you'll find something. Okay. So I just want to tell you some of the stuff that happens with timing that, like when I see it, and it's kind of like, okay, this doesn't match. And I know that an energy healing or something else is necessary. And by the way, all of you guys who are watching, either replay, live, what have you, if you guys are interested in getting good energy healing so that your timing can be better, so with Diane, she might not need it because she's got it going on, but if you want to get your timing better, you might need like a deeper energy healing that I have like the best referral for you. She is one of my friends. You can look for her in my Facebook. Her name is Adriana Ellerina Aldemar. Adriana, okay, Ellerina Aldemar. Search for her in my friends because I'm not able to like put it in the comments right now. I may put it back in after the live stream is over, but I'm not able to do live stream from StreamYard. So it's totally fine. She is really good at correcting an energy and helping a person like reframe their experience and doing some of the things so that they can align with timing that is a better timeline than what I can pendulum for them if they are not in alignment. I hope that makes sense. So she's actually been recently helping some people that I've referred to her, and it's been amazing. She just left corporate. She's been doing energy healing for like a decade, and she's amazing. She is totally, totally amazing. And I can't speak highly enough about her. And I just wanted to, put that out there for people who are not receiving the timing that they're looking for, and I can't change it on your energy level by asking. You might need to have some contracts redone or to get in alignment with your actual contracts, things like that. Okay. So if nobody else pops in, I think I may end the stream because I've been on for about half an hour. And I haven't seen a lot of people come in with a question, and that's okay. Because I know that people are busy and they have lives, and I'm just doing this Facebook thing for the first time today. So for those of you who want to find me, if you go to my link tree, Timing Magic with Lisa, okay, Timing Magic is, or actually it's link dot, like the link tr.ee/Timing Magic. And this is what you'll see. I also have this link in my Facebook page, and this gives you, and I'm not sure if this will, you can see my cursor, but all up here, this is all like my social media, and like this is my Cash App. This is my Patreon, which, by the way, that's the second link here. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually doing timing at a very affordable price for you people who are very, very psychic and know what's going to happen, but you don't know when. And so all you have to do is ask me when, and then I batch all of your timing questions together on Thursday night, and you receive your answer by Friday morning every week for $33 a month. Not a week, $33 a month. That is like less than $10 a reading that way. Now, I understand that some people, when I did the YouTube stream, that they want me to make a $25 level for a timing question, and that they can just do it one time. And then they're just paid for one time. So that's fine too. But I encourage for people that that they always get the visions and they don't know when the timing is, and that you kind of have that like once a week, or some of you may have it 3 times a week, which that's $77, but that's like 12 readings a month. Okay. That's insane, right? Okay. Yes, I've lost my mind, but I'm trying to give you guys value for what it is that you do. And I'm trying to do it in a way where I can just have like income that comes in that's stable for me. And so I have a trade-off with you by allowing you to get the advice that you need for your particular, these are all personal readings. These are not like group readings or anything like that. These are all personal. Okay. So we'll be doing on Patreon, the messages and the back end of Patreon. So you guys give me your questions in Patreon and I answer them all at one time. Okay, so I just thought I would tell you how this is working. And I only have decided to do 33 people at the $33 a month level. I've only decided to do 11 people at the $77 level. And so later, when a lot of people want these services and they understand them, I'm going to have another program that is slightly higher, the same services, but like $55 a month and then $122 a month, respectively, for the same things that are 33 and 77. But I want to have my core people that will stay with me and, every month, and that they get their 4 readings for $33. Like, who does that? Right? Who does that? And I'm doing it this way because I can batch the timing this way, because I can get the timing really fast. And when I'm in the zone, I may as well do a whole bunch of you at one time. And that way you guys get the savings, you get the information. I have stability. It works out for both of us. So just thought I would tell you guys how that works. And so I'll go ahead and remove the screen there, and I'll say goodbye to everybody. It looks like we're at about 41 minutes. That's great. I think that this is long enough for Facebook. All of us have, valuable time and everything. So I don't want to do too much about that, but I did want to do a general reading. And this is very interesting because I get that the reversal of the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles, you can see that this is a card of like poverty and poverty consciousness. Okay, and what we are trying to do is flip that upside down. We're trying to flip that script today and make this leave. Okay, and what we need to do is like really see like where these kinds of patterns are in our systems. Okay. And I thought, okay, this is another one. And this is like the unhappiness card. So like when it's upright like this, it's like, great happiness, but it's also a little lazy sometimes, this energy. Okay. The Nine of Cups energy. And again, we're balancing out this energy of like unhappiness and poverty energy. Okay. And the way that we do that is, here we are with the Hierophant. Okay. When it's upright. Okay. But when it's reversed, what it's saying is that we are not in alignment between what is spiritual and what is physical. Okay. We are not in the spiritual to physical alignment when this card is upside down. Also, we might need to learn some systems that already exist on the planet. So it's not like we have to like make over, like and reinvent the wheel. Okay, there's already systems in place for you to turn these around. So, and it's a matter of learning about those systems and implementing them. Okay, so that because they've been tried and true and over again. Okay, so I will end with that. And we're just shy of 45 minutes. So I'll see you guys later. Visit me at timingmagic.com. You can also click my link tree that's in my About Me bio here on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, and I will see you guys, some of you, on YouTube at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Links in some of my stuff, okay? Or if you go to my link tree, it's the first link that says, hey, catch me on YouTube, okay? So I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.